Well, one of the biggest challenges we need to recognize in scleroderma in general is that the lung disease is the leading cause of patients not surviving. And so picking up the trajectory of the lung early on will allow us to institute treatment that can prevent progression.
The Trajectory Project is really aimed at finding the markers that predict who is going to have very little lung disease and who is going to have lung disease which is much more rapidly progressive. I think the key question is why patients who present with scleroderma can look alike when they present and yet evolve differently over time. That evolution into different groups with different severities and different kinds of disease gives you the most insight into the important biology that underlies disease. And if you understand the markers that predict where they're going to end up, then you have a very good way of going back to the beginning and saying, in a patient, if they have this change, they're likely to be in one group, and if they have another change, they're likely to be in another group. The reason to know that is because you might be able to, A, know the pathways which are driving it, and B, to intervene before they get significant damage.
The involvement of patients is critical, and the more patients that we have, the more data that we get, the more we can understand. Big data sets are incredibly powerful for us to unravel the mysteries of this disease.
Math and, more importantly, data and statistics are really essential to biomedicine now. It's changing medicine dramatically. We're now measuring the fundamental processes of life in a way that we couldn't, and we're not only measuring but capturing that data, and we now have the potential to learn from it in a way that we never did before.
I think we live in an extraordinary time. We have been presented with a series of really revolutionary tools that previous generations of humans never had access to. Measurement, computation, and connectivity. Those tools are providing a moment to reimagine medicine in a way that previously wasn't possible. Collecting data and measurements as patients progress over time is the central foundation for doing this reimagination and reinvention of medicine.
We can stop scleroderma with the help of patients. The Scleroderma Research Foundation's support for researchers to look into the biology of this awful disease. And right now in 2018, we're making progress, not only understanding the disease, but now we have interventions that are making a difference in patients' quality of life and survival.